Welcome back, guys. This is your Premier League weekend preview, and we have got a big week ahead of us. Starting off with the early kickoff on Saturday, Wolves take on Leicester, and as you would know from our previous previews and reviews, Leicester manager Claude Puel is under pressure. The fans want better football. The board, of course, they want results. The results aren't too bad. That's the thing about it. But the football that they're playing, the style, is not one that's conducive to Leicester. A Leicester team or a club who have won the Premier League recently, let's not forget. So the expectations over there are very high. And as much as they were, defensively solid, especially in the second half of the season anyway, or you could say defensively minded, in the way that they were only playing counter-attacking football. It was exciting football, direct to the likes of Mahrez and Vardy. It hasn't been like that under Puel. And as I've said in the past, their results seem to be a very mixed bag. They'll play very well against the big teams, and they have a very good record, beating Man City, beating Chelsea, and then they'll have a game in against a team that you would expect them to beat, Everton, for example. Cardiff as the main one, and even losing to Newport County in the FA Cup. And with that mixed bag, we don't really know what we're going to get from this. Is Wolves considered the favourites? Leicester sitting in 8th place. Wolves at the moment, they're in 11th, newly promoted. If Wolves are the favourites, maybe that plays into Leicester's hands. If Leicester themselves are the favourites, maybe they can't handle that pressure having to take the game to the opposition. I think it will be a decent game to start the weekend off. I'm going to predict 2-1 to Wolves as the home side. Them themselves seem to, they are a newly promoted team nonetheless, as much as quality as they have. So you have to give them there's an understanding when they don't pick up results where you might think they can. But I think being at home, that will give them the advantage in the quality of players. I think they should be able to see that, but I wouldn't be surprised if whatever the three possible outcomes, it could literally go either way. I'm not going to sit on the fence and say a draw. I'll say 2-1 to the home side Wolves. Then we've got a bunch of 3 o'clock kickoffs. Bournemouth versus West Ham. West Ham on the back of a brilliant and important win against Arsenal last time out at the London Stadium. They're now heading to the Vitality. We're going to face Bournemouth, a Bournemouth side who are bang out of form. They have lost. Bear with me. I can't remember the last time. Bournemouth sitting in 12th. Oh my goodness. So they won their last game. Sorry, they lost their last game against Everton 2-0. So in 5, they have lost their last 3 out of the last 4, and they haven't won in 5 games. They started so well. They're still sitting in a decent position, but they started the season so well, and it's really fallen off a cliff. To their hope, Callum Wilson could be back in contention for a start. He's been out with an injury, so hopefully for them, he's back in the starting lineup. And it will give them the best chance to get a result against West Ham. A West Ham side who, again, they're very inconsistent. They've beaten Manchester United, they've beaten Arsenal, they've drawn with Chelsea, obviously all of them being at home. But results against other sides is the reason why they haven't, you might say, kicked on in a way that they possibly should, having spent over 100 million in the summer. But they are 9th at the moment. I'm going to predict a draw in that game, probably around 2-2. I think both teams can score, so I think I'll predict 2-2. The big news actually really is about Declan Rice. Ireland tweeted a happy birthday message with him in an Ireland shirt. Obviously it must have done a photo shoot some time back, but we know that he's yet to decide which nationality, which team and nation he wants to represent full time as in his career, Ireland or England. So he's got a big decision on his hands, but for now he's just enjoying his football and he's playing very well in the midfield for West Ham. We also have Newcastle versus Cardiff, two teams that need a win. That is really the bottom line. It's a 6-pointer, you would basically say. Newcastle, having lost their last game to Chelsea, that being just before they went through in the FA Cup against Blackburn after extra time. They lost before that to Manchester United, drew with Watford and lost to Liverpool. So they haven't won a game since the 15th of December, which was against Huddersfield, 1-0 away. So they need a win badly. Cardiff themselves, they drew last time out against Huddersfield, a result that was the last result of Huddersfield under David Wagner. Before that, they lost to Tottenham, and they were knocked out of the FA Cup as well. So they could do themselves with a win to pull away from a relegation fight. At the moment, they're only 1 point clear of the relegation zone, 1 point ahead of Newcastle. Exactly. So this is really what you call a 6-pointer. Both teams struggle to score. That is the reason why they are where they are. And I believe it's gonna be a low-scoring game. I will go 1-1. A draw which does neither team really a favour, but it's worse for Newcastle for the fact that they are at home and they're in the relegation zone. They need the 3 points even more. But a result that neither of them would really want. Watford versus Burnley. Burnley, they've been resurgent. They won their last game against Fulham without having a shot on target. But they are picking up points and they're picking up wins, more importantly, at this stage. They have won their last 3 in a row. And they're currently sitting in 15th. Yeah, 15th in the table. 3 points ahead of the relegation zone, 3 points clear of Newcastle. So if they could get a result at Watford, even a draw, it would be good for the fact that Newcastle are playing Cardiff. So they could even pull further away. But I think Watford will be able to win that one. I'm going to predict 2-1 to Watford. Watford, who I guess are fighting for that 7th position. They are 7th at the moment. Between them, Leicester, West Ham, Everton and Wolves, I would say that position is probably very much up for grabs. Top 6, don't even think about it. Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. Again, they play before Manchester City in the race for the title, so they can again get a win at Anfield and put Man City under pressure on the Sunday. And I think they're going to do it. I think it's going to be comfortable. Crystal Palace have injury issues with their keepers. Both Guita and Hennessy are out. So Julian Speroni is going to make his first start of the season at 39 years old. And, that's not going to be the reason why they lose, but it's an issue that, someone down there playing a team like Liverpool, the way Liverpool are playing at Anfield, it's not what you want. You want everyone to kind of be, your first team as much as possible, everyone to be fit and firing. I think Liverpool's going to have way too much for them. I'll say a comfortable 3-0 victory. Southampton versus Everton. Everton, they've been a bit boring, if I'm not going to lie. They've been a bit boring. I expected a lot more from Everton. The amount they spent in the last couple of years, and also the fact that they've got in Marco Silva. We know that the Everton fans didn't take to Sam Allardyce as good as the results were. The style of football wasn't to their liking, so they brought in Marco Silva specifically for that. And for me, I've been underwhelmed this season. They had, at times, it looked like they were just about getting going, and it's really hit, I want to say a brick wall, but it's been they've been stopped in their tracks somewhat. So they want to really get back to playing some attractive football. They did get a win last time out against Bournemouth, and away at Southampton. Southampton, a resurgent one actually, under their new manager. Southampton will get something out of this game. A win, a draw, I'm not 100% sure. Ooh. You know what, I'm going to predict a win. Stick my neck out. Southampton win 2-1 at home to Everton. It could easily be a draw, but I'm going to stick my neck out to that one. And Manchester United versus Brighton. Ole Solskjaer, 6 wins out of 6 in all competitions, 5-5 in the Premier League. He's going for 7 in a row as Manchester United manager. He will be the first Man United manager to win their first 6 Premier League games, or league games anyway, in a row after Sir Matt Budsby. And I think we'll do it. It's not going to be an easy game. Brighton well drilled under Chris Hughton. Big up Chris Hughton. Brilliant manager he is, showing that black managers can make it in the Premier League. And I'll keep tooting that horn until we see more and more through the years. Black British managers specifically. But I think Man United will have too much. Rashford on fire. Pogba on fire. De Gea, I don't even have to talk about David De Gea. But I do expect both Pogba and Rashford to get on the score sheet, and I'll predict 3-1. 3-1, why? Because we still can't defend. David De Gea had to make 11 saves. Granted, some of them were straight at him or comfortable, or saves you expect a keeper of his quality to make, cool. But we conceded a lot of chances, and that was only in one half. They didn't have any shots in target in the first half, Tottenham. All 11 came in the second half, so we've still got defensive issues to work out. Bailly is back for this game. Whether he slots back in straight away is another matter. Lindelof is playing very well, but I expect us to win. But I do think we probably will concede. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can. Let's say I'm not saying we're going to improve massively defensively, but in games where we're not going to be conceding the possession and concede the amount of chances we do to the likes of Tottenham, hopefully we can keep a clean sheet. And that result, if Man United do get that win, 3 o'clock kickoff, that will take them above Arsenal into 5th, just 3 points behind Chelsea before the big game, the big London derby. Arsenal versus Chelsea at the Emirates. We saw a brilliant game between the two sides actually at Stamford Bridge in the second game week of the season. Either team could have won that game. In the end, Chelsea ran out 3-2 winners. Arsenal missed a bag of chances. Like Aubameyang, it was like, what's going on? He's top goal scorer in the Premier League. He's in form. Blow hot and cold from time to time, but he's got the goals, and that's what it's about, the currency. Chelsea not playing great. They're not, but they are getting plucking out the results. 1 point behind Spurs in 3rd place. Well, 4th place they are. Spurs in 3rd. Arsenal, they're struggled. Their form. What is their form? Their form is they've lost. Well, they've failed to win 3 out of their last 4 games. Losing to West Ham, as I said in the previous game week. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what is going on at Arsenal. No money to sign players in January. Players like Torreira being left out. Ozil, rumours about whether Emery wants him. Emery's trying to get rid to free up some funds. Whether he's injured, what his injury is. I was hearing today that he had a back injury because of playing Fortnite. Now, I don't know if man was just joking as a bit of banter. But really, if that's the case, damn, it's a mess. Arsenal at home, so you give them a chance. Definitely give them a chance of getting a result. Chelsea are a good team. Chelsea are a very good team. Obviously, they're still adapting to Mauricio Sarri's way, what they call Sarri ball. Higuain, he's joining Chelsea, but he's not going to be there in time for the Arsenal game. Morata's supposed to be going to Atletico Madrid, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's involved, especially if he starts, because we wouldn't want an injury or anything like that before that move. So you could see a return to the Emirates, a return to Arsenal into the Chelsea team for Olivier Giroud. And I think for me that gets the best out of Hazard. Someone like a player of Giroud's stature and ability, the way he links play, holds out the ball and brings others into play. Hazard is not a striker. He's not even a false 9. Yes, he can do it because he's a very good player, but it doesn't get the best out of him. So Giroud starts for me, Hazard, and I would say probably Willian based on the goal in the last game. For me, Pedro probably should start, but it's probably going to be Willian. He can get those crosses in to Giroud in the middle. And if those 3 do start, I am going to predict a Chelsea win. The score though, Arsenal will score 3-1 Chelsea. That's what I'm going to predict. I just hope Arsenal put up a better fight than they did against West Ham. Personally, as a Man United fan, I want Arsenal to win. Like, it's not often that I do, but I want Arsenal to win, because if we beat Brighton, even if we don't, but if we beat Brighton, we're trying to close that gap to top 4. Like, forget Arsenal in 5th. It's 4th and above we're aiming for. Spurs we're aiming for in 3rd. So we need those two teams, Chelsea and Spurs, to drop points. So hopefully Arsenal can get something out of this game and they can bring Man United a step closer to those positions. Moving on to Sunday, first kickoff is Huddersfield versus Manchester City. For me, it's a walkover. Give it to them now. You know, I remember some people talking about bringing back the forfeit rule in football. I say bringing back, introducing the forfeit rule in football, especially after Man City battered, Rotherham 7-0 and Burton 9-0. No, I don't advocate that, but this could get ugly. Huddersfield without a manager, David Wagner, leaving by mutual consent, legitimately mutual consent, but they ain't got a manager, and they're playing the champions, the Centurions. Jesus is on form, Aguero's back, De Bruyne is back, Mendy's on the recovery road. I can't see anything but a battering. It's only a matter of how much. If Huddersfield score, they'll be very lucky. I'm going to predict Man City 5-0. Yeah, Man City 5-0. And the final game, Fulham versus Spurs, and another London derby this weekend. And then on any other given day, and any other given week of the season, I would say Spurs all day long, no questions asked. But they are ravaged with injury. Sissoko out. Son in Asia. Mora, where he's been injured, there's a possibility he may make it for this game. Most likely on the bench, if at all. But of course, the big one, Harry Kane, went down injured at the end of the Manchester United game, and he ain't recovered since he went down. And the news is that he's out until March, so that's probably about 6 games or so he's missing in the Premier League, and that could be a massive, massive blow for Spurs and their top 4 aspirations. Son's not going to be back until a good number of weeks from now. I'll say about 3 or 4 games. Presuming South Korea make it further into the Asian Cup. I know they've qualified from the group, but they're going to have to be relying on Mora. They're going to have to be relying on, obviously, of course, Ali Eriksson and Lamela. But of course, Fernando Llorente, he doesn't get many opportunities, but maybe this is his opportunity to show that, yes, I'm second choice and I will always be second choice, but you can call on me when I need. And of course, the reality is, a lot of times when Spurs, you would say they need Llorente, Pochettino doesn't call on him. They don't bring him on until very, very late, or at all, if at all. They don't necessarily play for his strengths when he does come on. So you do think, what is his use in this squad? But there's no chance of him being sold or going on loan now, especially after all these injuries and absences. Spurs, I think they will still have enough for a poor Fulham side. Fulham, who have bought Ryan Babel, the ex-Liverpool winger, forward from Besiktas. Well, he's come on a 6-month permanent transfer, but then they'll see after that if they want to keep him on further. Yes, he can add goals to his Fulham side. I mean, goals per se hasn't been their biggest issue, but of course goals win matches, but defensively is their biggest concern. They have tightened up, to be fair, since Ranieri joined. Got a couple clean sheets and low scoring games before they were getting battered left, right and centre. But I do think Spurs will have too much for them, and I will go 2-1 Tottenham. Let me know in the comments below whether you agree, disagree with my predictions, and as we get to the real meaty part of the season. These games are coming thick and fast. Midweek, weekend, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday. Champions League is coming back. EFL Cup is coming to its culmination. Of course, FA Cup. So there's a lot of fixtures for us to go through. Neeks Sports himself, we will be at Arsenal versus Chelsea, so you can check out the fan cams which will be on the football terrace, and we'll have a compilation video of all those fan cams on Neeks Sports over the weekend. Make sure you check out all our videos, subscribe and follow us on our podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes and Spotify, all the social medias at Neeks Sports, and I'll see you soon.